Okay, so one little concept. Uh, New guy is born, 16 years of age, starts out capital city, and let's say the group is a ruling oligarchy, so it's a family. They can appoint who's in charge. So you have this kid, and you say, all right, well, I want this kid just to be isolated, not have a bodyguard. I want him to go to the school here. I want him to learn. Okay, so he goes to that school. And say, okay, I want you to go to this place, and I want you to go to like the military, location here as well, because I want you to learn there, and also go to the religious shrine, you know, that's there. Maybe you'll learn something or not. The same with this, religious shrine. Eventually go up to this location, and go to its military institution, learn something there. The other thing is that by this point, you probably want to individualize these military places because what I'm thinking really that these places would be forts, and the fort would either be the city itself or it'd be like a castle, and so it'd be separated, isolated, or not isolated, but it would be in a key location um, that has military significance, but not so much always connected to the population center. So that's something else to consider. Is that okay? You can decide where you want that to be, and so that's going to be either part of the city or not. And as a result, that's going to affect what sort of you know military you can recruit. Um, but that's something else because I'm thinking, if this was a feudal environment, uh, this piece of land would be controlled by the king. Each of these little parcels would be controlled by uh, nobility, and thus there'd be so many nobility that they would have to go down to. That meant that you would only have a certain amount of nobility you could recruit from for your army. You couldn't have an unlimited number of cavalry. Um, and in fact, if you kept going to war and kept losing a bunch of battles, you'd start just running out of those guys because there wouldn't be enough of them alive per se, and that would also destabilize the communities, and thus might generate more rebellious groups to pop up. So I mean that's just other ways that I'm thinking you can incorporate the gameplay. But anyways, back to your little guy traveling around. Eventually go up to where these people had been living, go to the military and the other locations, and just learn from them, meet, interact with the people, and learn from them. And that way the retinue could be expanded for your character, as could the traits, and have a positive effect. And I'm thinking, rather than me do that each turn, why don't I just say training regimen? Have like a little special hot button or whatever macro, and say, okay, buddy, bam, 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 do that, and then when you're done, pop up or go to this location because I'm going to have you do something later on, or this location. But and I'm thinking do the same for the military. And instead of having another military unit which is on a pre-programmed course cluttering the land space, I say, okay, make that unit invisible, so that way he's just going to bounce around. He's going to be there, but he's not going to be cluttering the map. Um, and in fact, that way you can just have like a ghost of the image appear on the map if there is a conflict of like, oh, this unit is conflicting. But I'm thinking, that won't be the case. Um, let's see. So as a result, you have your military unit start in your capital. It goes to the religious place. It goes to the military trains. Uh, whatever attributes of the military unit can be expanded. So I'm also thinking that what if you had a unit starting out with your military leader and you just start conquering and uh, doing all sorts of different things, and basically you beefed up that unit to such a point, and also you can imagine you train that unit because when you conquer a land, you would learn the ways of your enemy and incorporate the ways of your enemy, especially if they're effective, into your own army. So that way you're no longer limited to whatever units. You can expand those. This is also expanded to the idea of if I establish relations with this foreign unit and they have access to a unique building, structure, unit, I could also get access to that if I have a good enough relationship. And potentially, if I make a building that is unique to this unit in my space, that's going to create a population in my location that is unique and different. So that could cause a conflict unless I have a certain, you know, piece going on. But anyway, so back to the military unit. So if the military unit conquers, and let's say I get to the point, I get the guys up here, and I've defeated this enemy, and they really have achieved a lot, and also new skills are opened up. So I say to that unit, okay, you know what? I want more units like you. So I want this unit to go back to the capital. They're going to build a barracks, and from now on, they're going to train guys just like them. And so those guys would be popped out. So that's something, and I don't know, it's a little hard for me to really figure out and come to terms with, but I just wanted to get it out there, and maybe Creative Assembly can come up with something. Um, but yeah.